crisis. On the flip side, Arsenal are running away with it. Can they be caught at the top of the table? We get all of that action. How much more next? That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today is match number 13, that's right, over in the Premier League, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, well, smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Premier League, whoa, football, we're going to all here under one rooski. That's right, Arsenal running away with it. And what about Liverpool? Goodness gracious me. Are they about to change their coach? I think it must be win or bust territory for Arne Slot right now. We'll talk all about that and much more in a second. If you're new, hit the subscribe and a big shout out to the members and their patrons, of course. But we are bringing it bang up to date with this, guys. It is the Premier League. So let's hop on into that. And of course, look back at what went on last time around. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this, guys, on the screen now. You should see my predictions on the left-hand side here. And of course, the other side here, the real scorelines. Kick it all off with a bang on the point there. 2-0 winners. Chelsea over Burnley. Got that one spot on the nose. Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. Are so close with a 2-1 win there. Meanwhile, Brighton with a 2-1 win over Brentford. I got that one close to the mark as well. Fulham with a 1-0 win over Sunderland, who take the L. Look at that. Got 3-0 right, but I got the wrong way round. Nottingham Forest with a 3-0 victory over Liverpool at Anfield. Goodness gracious me. Palace with a 2-0 win on the road to Wolves in Ryan Edwards' first match there. Newcastle with a cheeky 2-1 win over Man City. Great win for them. Aston Villa 2-1 winners away to Leeds United. Arsenal putting 4 past Tottenham. And of course, Everton with that amazing win against Manchester United with 10 men in charge. Of course, there is the table right here, right now. Arsenal top of the pop, 6 points clear over Chelsea. Of course, Man City now in third. Villa fourth. Going down, if it was to end today, Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. I'll take it, of course. But that's, of course, by the by. A lot of action still to be played, as is a lot of predictions still to be made in the prediction league. I'm not going to give you an update right now, though, but keep on doing your thing. We'll bring that bang up to date very, very soon. Of course, that is that. We're now going to jump in the deep end and, of course, look to this, which, of course, is this weekend's drama. So we're going to kick it all off. Where are we going to kick it off? We're going to kick it all off at Sunderland, that's right, as they take on Bournemouth, of course, coming at you on the 29th of November at the Stadium of Light. Reggie Lebris, Sunderland are 7th right now, 19 points for them. They are winless in the last 3 matches. Up against Bournemouth and Andy Ariola, they are 8th right now, 19 points for them, just 1 win in the last 5. So 2 sides who've started the season very, very well, but of course kind of dropping off a little bit now, and of course the cream is starting to rise to the top. Coming at you, Bournemouth on the back of that 2-2 draw at home to West Ham. Their last couple of away matches, in fact the last 3 away matches resulted in just the 1 point, so not good for Bournemouth on the road. As for Sunderland's home form, it's not too bad. Of course, they're unbeaten in the last 3. I say that's not too bad. It's pretty good. But a couple of draws in succession, so not great. In the grand scheme of things, but you know, they're getting points to the board, and of course they're doing much better than anticipated. The bookies odds for this one, they do lean in favour of Bournemouth, which is a surprise. It's a long way to go for the Bournemouth fans to go up there. I'm backing Sunderland, I think, to get the result here. 2-0 winners, back to winning ways, and of course back up the table they go. Let's go to Brentford then, as they take on Burnley in the Battle of the Bees, that's right, at the Brentford Community Stadium. And Keith Andrews, ex-Rover there, 13th for the table, 16 points for them, just 1 win in the last 3. Up against Burnley and Scott Parker, 19th right now, 3 defeats on the spin for them, and are of course in that relegation zone. Coming into this, Burnley losing to Chelsea at home, of course. The past couple of away games, they've been in them. They definitely they beat Wolves, of course. They were close in the West Ham game, so they're making a good account of themselves on the road. As for Brentford, though, at home, pretty solid. Back-to-back wins at home, beating Newcastle and Liverpool. So I would imagine it's probably more of the same here. The bookies do see that. Of course, they're back in Brentford. I think I've got to back Brentford as well. 1-0 winners. Not much, but enough to keep Brentford moving and, of course, put Burnley back in trouble. Meanwhile, Manchester City against Leeds United coming at you at the Etihad Stadium. Pep Guardiola's boys are third right now, 22 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Against Leeds under Daniel Farke, just 1 win in the last 6. They're 18th with 11 points, of course. City are in action against Leverkusen this week in the Champions League, and, of course, on the back of that 2-1 loss to Newcastle. But the home form is where it's at, as this will be their 4th home game out of 5 in the last 6 matches, if that makes any sense. So a lot of home forms coming at Man City of late here. Leeds, though, on the road, you know, not great, is it? At least 3 defeats on the spin for them. Man City are favoured with the bookies. They should be as well. They might even be more than 3-0, but that's what I've got coming at you this weekend. Let's drop on over to Everton against Newcastle at, of course, the new Hill Dickinson Stadium. The Toffees, David Moyes, they're 11th right now, 18 points to them. They're unbeaten the last 3. Standing in the way are Newcastle and Eddie Howe, sitting in 14th right now, 15 points for them. They've won 4 of the last 6, of course. Coming into this, though, the Geordies are on the back of that 2-1 win over Man City. Their away form is where the problems are at least back-to-back defeats for them on the road. In fact, I haven't seen the last away win in the league. I don't think they've picked up one this season. So got a couple of away day points earlier this season, but not much for them. As for Everton, they're on the back of back-to-back wins and back-to-back clean sheets as well. So pretty solid form for Everton coming into this. The bookies, though, they'll go with Newcastle, which is a surprise. I think Everton playing really good football. They'll have that suspension to deal with, but ultimately, I think Everton get this one over the line here. 2-1 winners for them in their own new stadium. Speaking of new stadiums, Tottenham Hotspur against Fulham. A London affair here. Thomas Frank's Tottenham on ninth right now, gone off the pace here, just one win in the last 5. Against Fulham under Marco Silva, who's bounced back here, 3 wins the last 4 matches. They sit 15th with 14 points for them. Of course, coming into Fulham on the back of that 1-0 win over Sunderland, and their last couple of away matches, though, in the league have resulted in a couple of defeats there. Losing to Everton, losing to the Geordies here. As for Spurs, their home form is a bit concerning here in the league. 1, 2, 3 matches. 4 matches without a win at home, so pretty grim stuff for them. Not been a happy stopping ground. In fact, even I don't even know what is their home form like. I think they've only won once at home this season, so pretty grim stuff for them. The bookies will probably still back Spurs, who've got Champions League football as well. The Spurs are fancy. I think I've got them in winning this game as well, but their home form is shocking. They've got to win sometime. Gone with a 2-0 win with a busy week for Tottenham as well. Crystal Palace against Manchester United. That's coming on Sunday the 30th of November at Selhurst Park. Glasnow's boys are 5th right now, 20 points for them. They've unbeaten the last 5. Against Manchester United and Ruben Amorim, they are 10th right now, 18 points for them. They're unbeaten. They're winless in the last 3 matches. Of course, coming into on the back of that defeat to Everton. Of course, last couple of away matches though resulted in 2-2 draws for Manchester United against Forest and Tottenham. As for Crystal Palace, back-to-back clean sheets for them. In fact, 3 clean sheets, 4 clean sheets in the league, 4 clean sheets in England, should we say, for Crystal Palace. Just 1 goal conceded in the last 5 in all competitions. Coming into this, Crystal Palace taking on Strasbourg this week in a busy old week. And of course, they're taking on Manchester United at this venue where they are expected to win, according to the bookies. But it is a tight one. Could be a draw, but I'm going to go with 2-0 win for Palace. At the moment, Villa up against Wolves in a bit of a derby there, of course, in the old Midlands. Villa under Unai Emery sit 4th right now, 21 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Up against Wolves under Rob Edwards. They're rock bottom. They've lost 6 of the bounce, of course, just 2 points all season long. They're on the back of that 2-0 loss at home, so Palace haven't scored a goal in the last 3 matches in the league. It's a question, it's problems time for Wolves. As for Villa, on the back of that 2-1 away win against Leeds, they've won 3 in the bounce here in all competitions, just 1 defeat in the last 5 matches. The bookies will back Villa, of course, who have got a busy week with European action as well. Back-to-back home games, though, for Villa as well. This will be a continuing their run of 4 out of the last 5 matches at home. Got on Villa here, 4-1, big one, of course. Wolves taking a massive dump of a point, of a result there. Let's go Forest then as they dig on Brighton, coming at the City Ground, of course. Sean Dyche's Forest are 16th right now, 12 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They've turned up the form a little bit. Up against Brighton and Fabian Hutzler, they are 6th right now, 19 points for them, unbeaten the last 3 matches. Brighton on the back of that 2-1 home win against Brentford. The last away match was that 0-0 draw at Palace, of course. On the road, though, Brighton not the best. Haven't won in the last 3, haven't scored a goal in the last 2. As for Forest, on the back of a couple of good, strong wins, beating Liverpool at Anfield, beating Leeds at their own backyard. They're unbeaten in the last 4 as well. Got European action, though, have Forest. They've got to concentrate on. They're expected to win that game, and they're expected to lose this game against Brighton, according to the bookies, but not me. I've got Forest getting a point here, but they might even take all 3, depending, because they're playing pretty solid football. Then, of course, it all boils down to this big one at the London Stadium. It's West Ham and Nuno Espirito Santo are 17th right now, 11 points for them. They're unbeaten in the last 3 matches. Against Arne Slot's Liverpool, back-to-back defeats for them, 12th at the table, 18 points for them. Of course, they are in action in Europe, taking on PSV Eindhoven at Anfield. They're expected to win that game. West Ham, of course, fully focused on this game, where they're expected to lose, but there are communities on the back of a draw against Bournemouth. There's actually been back-to-back home wins for West Ham, beating Burnley, beating Newcastle. As for Liverpool, just scored 1 goal in the last 3 games combined. If we look at the last 3 or 4 matches in the Prem, or in England, should we say, just 2 goals scored between for Liverpool in the last 4, and they've got all that gear up front, you know what I mean? Bookies will back Liverpool. I've gone back Liverpool here. They've got to win this game, surely. Otherwise, questions need to be answered, and of course, heads may roll. And then finally, we go to Chelsea in another London affair here. Stamford Bridge, Enzo Marquez's Chelsea are 2nd right now, 23 points in the table. Up against top of the pops, Arsenal with Mikel Arteta. A win for Chelsea could see them close the gap to just 3 points at the top of the table. Arsenal unbeaten in at least the last 6 games here, winning 5 and drawing just the 1. As for Chelsea, they're unbeaten themselves in the last 5. Both sides are in Champions League action. Chelsea taking on Barcelona at home, Arsenal taking on Bayern at home as well. 2 games, of course. Both sides are expected to win their respective Champions Champions League games. But it's all about this one. Arsenal are favoured, of course, by the bookies here. Fresh on the back of that 4-1 morale-boosting win over Tottenham. Chelsea, of course, on the back of a 2-0 win over Burnley. Back-to-back clean sheets for Chelsea in the league. Like I said, bookies back in Arsenal, I think, for this one. It's tight. Got a 3-1 win, got a statement win for Arsenal, and that would open up a bit of a gap again at the top of the table, but of course Man City closing the gap a little bit as well. But that's my take, and if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. Of course, Arsenal top of the pops, 32 points, 7 points clear at the top, Man City in second, Villa in third, and Chelsea in fourth. Going down is Wolves, is Burnley, is Leeds, as you were, of course, with, of course, a much more action still to be had around the corner. Now make sure you subscribe, of course, and drop a comment down below. I look forward to seeing you back, and when we return, whenever that is, we're done.